right, all right. Well, thank you very much for Have y'all seen Tom Davis yet? It's if you haven't, you will. But thank you for being here, stopping and doing what we should do, which is celebrating the men and women who do great things in this agency. And we could spend all day doing it, I know, but each month we get to stop and do our Officer Employees of the Month, and we're going to do that for you this morning. So our Employee of the Month for May 2025 is Miss Missy Jeter. Will you step right here? There we go. It says, there you go. We wanted to get you in. All right. Just in time. We're all good. It says in April, while processing a routine batch of legal mail, Missy Jeter noticed something unusual about two specific pieces. She brought it to my attention, expressing concern that something didn't seem right. The mail in question appeared to be from an attorney who represents multiple inmates in our custody. However, his name, typically spelled E-R-I-K, was spelled E-R-I-C-K on the envelopes. She immediately recognized the discrepancy as it was inconsistent with how she had seen the attorney's name spelled in the past. To verify, I contacted the law office directly and was informed that the inmate was no longer a client. I then notified investigations Forward and asked him to examine the mail further. Thanks to her keen observation and attention to detail, illegal drugs were prevented from entering the DCSO facilities. Her vigilance in noticing the subtle but critical misspelling not only demonstrated exceptional dedication to her duties, but may also have safeguarded the health and safety of both staff and inmates. For these reasons, Nanda recommended Ms. Jeter for Employee of the Month. How about that? There we go. I did. You want to say the last name? No. I said, I'll say her first name if you'll say her last name. Talking about both, we wouldn't do it. Hang on one second. Let's see. So we'll give you there's your ribbon, your coin, there's 8 hours of leave off, and you have a tumbler at your desk as well. Congratulations to you. Thank you. New to the Sheriff's Office. It says our Officer of the Month for May 2025 is Mr. Harry Jines. Give it up for Harry, brother. It says, I'd like to nominate Warrant Officer Harry Jines for Officer of the Month. In May, while working in the assigned area, he was flagged down by a civilian who reported being stabbed by another individual. He quickly located and confronted the alleged suspect, who was still armed. He issued clear commands, successfully disarmed the suspect, placed him in restraint, and secured the scene until MNPD arrived. He then rendered medical aid to the victim, who was in shock and experiencing significant blood loss. Shortly afterward, he encountered two unhoused individuals displaying signs of mental health crisis. He placed one into custody and provided medical attention to the other. Though Deputy Jines is known for his humility, his actions that day exemplify outstanding judgment, swift decision-making, and the highest standards of training. That was written by Mr. Ford. Fantastic. Great job, Jimmy. Thank you, sir. There we go. Hang on one second. There's a ribbon for your uniform and a coin. There's 8 hours of leave and a tumbler. That's great job. Great job, Harry. You guys hear this every month, but I like to hang out upstairs before we come down. So I'm sitting there and I was saying, well, it feels like a kind of a special time, kind of a warrant's being represented. By the way, Miss Jeter done been promoted and slid out of the job she was in, helping us in the mailroom. I don't know what she's thinking. She moved over to data entry and warrants, and so here are two warrant people. We're sitting there talking, and I always say, well, just tell me your story. How'd you get here? You know, and blah, 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 blah. So she tells her story, which is super cool. Has been here a time or two in different divisions, came back, interned, which is a cool thing. Marsha in here? Eric in here? A couple of us came here as interns and never left. I see Miss Stewart as an intern. I hope you never leave. Interns are important to us. But anyway, she was telling her story and about how long she's been here and this or that. And then, of course, I knew some of it, but I said, so, Mr. Jines, tell me some of your story. And so before he started, he goes, I think I've been here longer than you've been alive, talking about Miss Jeter. So we have generations here. I'm more in the Mr. Jines' category, as you know, but great people doing great work. And, you know, whether it's saving, Lord knows, all sorts of folks in the community that are doing things, and you could easily drive on and say, that's not my job, if you wanted to do that. And Miss Jeter could have easily, I probably would have missed the spelling by one letter on mail that they're dealing with in the high volume that we're going through. Some of you know this in the facilities, but legal mail is kind of becoming the whole, hopefully, the last stand for trying to get drugs in here through the mail system, because we've changed everything. And so the work that all our folks in the mail area do is critically important. And so thank you for doing what you do, and I hope you do really well in data entry. And as I told her, if not, we will find where you want to be, I promise. It's super important. It's important to find what you want to do, right? And I know that sounds silly. I told them, I said, I chased a shift one time. It didn't solve my problem. I chased money in a job. I wanted weekends off so bad. One time I thought I'd do anything. You get in a job, you're miserable 5 days a week until I got off. And so I hope you'll find what you want to do that makes you feel fulfilled. We have a chief of corrections here. Y'all may have heard of her. And I remember many, many years ago, I sat down with her. I saw something I thought she would be really good at. And I said, you know, I need you to go do this. I'd like for you to go do this. This has been 10, 12 years ago. And I thought, and we needed her to do that. She also was very good at it. And I was tickled to death. I thought the agency was better. I thought she was better. I thought the world was better. I thought everything. But a year or so later, she set up a meeting to come sit back down with me. And she sat down and she said, I don't like what I'm doing. I'd like to go back. And I thought, what? I mean, not that, I just thought you fit, it fit, everything was happy. But her comment to me was, but I don't feel like I'm fulfilling what I want to be doing as much as I may be trying to do well in my new job. And really, what it was educational for me is what I think may not matter at all about what you're good at and what you seem to be enjoying or you seem to be impacting the agency. So I kind of coined the phrase back then that some moves are made for the agency, some moves are made for you, and I hope they all work out at the same time. But sometimes we have needs to get people in places, and on the other time, and probably most importantly, I hope you'll find what you want to do. And I have 2 young men who I am responsible for in life, and I met with both of them this week for a different reason, and for some reason I ended up in the same conversation. You know, one of mine is chasing the wrong thing. You know, he's chasing what I think's the wrong thing. It's more money. You know, you're young and they need money. I did too. I have another one who is probably chasing things that other people think are jobs, that are cool jobs. And what I said to both of them, which is what I'm trying to, I hope someone would have told me a long time ago, is I hope you'll find what makes you feel good. And you'll never go to work. What we do is we go to work and try to find ourselves feeling good. That's hard to do. So we may not have the job today that fits everybody. We may not have a job tomorrow, but I hope we post a lot of jobs. Every Monday morning we go in and we meet and we go through what's the vacancies and what's happening and what we're bidding and all that. So there's a lot of jobs doing a whole lot of things. And I hope you'll find what makes you feel better or good about yourself when you go home. You know, if it's helping people or saving people, good gosh, listen to what these 2 have just done. But that may not be what makes you feel good. It may be something that that's out there. So I hope you'll work to find that. I hope we can find that for you. Our job is not to yeah, I say this all the time, I want you to have a good quality experience, and I hope there's some quantity in there. You know, quality life and quality place to work. And a lot of folks, we were in here just the other day, Eric Trotter was leaving. What a great human being. Just listen to him and his story, and super, super cool. A lot happening. This time of year is always busy. It's kind of the boring stuff to you guys. I hope you receive some information about your pay and your pay raise. Basically, that tweaked a little bit very late in the process. The city council adjusted it very, very late, and so it was kind of a little bit of a delay in getting out the information. I do want to thank Byron and the HR staff for getting together, I hope, an email or at least communication about how it impacted you. It's very complicated how we get to that point. Just know that we're Metro government in changing their pay plan, adjusted a variety of things. It wasn't as simple as years past where everyone's getting 3%. It's a little complicated this year, but from this point forward, we ought to get back into that routine of it. But I hope if you have any questions, we can give you Byron's home address. You can go out there and meet him. I dare you to go meet Byron and talk about the pay plan. I would highly suggest an email and just give me the numbers. But I thank Byron and HR for getting everybody their information. Clearly, that's the most important thing to you, and it ought to be, is your pay. There are some things in the budget that I may have mentioned before that are going to be helpful. These are programs we've been trying to deal with for a long time. One of them is funding the mobile booking unit as a fully funded agency, part of the agency. We needed that. There's some other broke down in the budget that I think will help us as we move forward. It's a weird year because we intentionally didn't talk much about overcrowding because I was afraid, and we were afraid it would confuse the council as to what do we need to do and all that. So now I think you will feel, and we're going to shift the conversation to how overcrowded we are and what we need. What we need is a new facility, and we also need some help immediately. But you will feel, and I think hear that. We know it. You're living it every day. Our staff emailed or texted Chief Joyner and said the facility staff are doing an incredible job trying to manage a terrible situation. And I'm talking about terrible as in numbers. Big part of our agency right now. There's a lot to talk about with that as we go forward. The window of time is between now and October. I think October is the time frame of the city committing a large chunk of money to get us started building what we need, and there's a lot of work going on to do that. So, and we'll be clearly involved, you guys, in talking about transition teams and committees and all the work that we'd like to do once we get the money approved to get going. Had a really interesting group in here yesterday, super cool. Put some gas in your tank. I don't know, 60 or so high school students from KYB. It's a leadership academy with a lot of, I don't know, super impressed. We ran through the building and had a lot of folks in here helping us, and super cool experience, and hopefully we can recruit some future leaders in the group. They were great. I want to talk about the 4th of July real quick, if you don't mind.
Welcome anyone who's interested in coming here and watch the 4th of July fireworks. As we all know, great location. We park on the upper deck. We do ask that you make sure that you have your ID. We'll have the school team that will be here. They'll be allowing access to the second floor, only the lobby area. The bathroom will be available in the lobby area. Make sure you have your ID. No unaccompanied children in the building. A few other things for the parking lot. No fireworks, no glass bottles, including sparklers. We just ask that you don't do any of that. No glass bottles. You can come in by 6 p.m. and leave after the fireworks for as late as 11 p.m. One trash cans available upstairs just to make sure that you clean up after yourself. But everyone is welcome. If you haven't been here with the 4th of July, it's a fun location.
Could everybody hear most of that? So just to make sure, that's what, Friday, right? Or 2? Yeah, so we're right here on it. What else? Chief Hudson? You know what? I didn't want to sound self-serving just because this is the best month of the year. I don't think it's fair to bring up that it's the best month of the year. I mean, we shouldn't have to bring up that July is the best month, although we have a weird zodiac. I don't like that. I don't like that. Cancer doesn't sound like something you want to be. So I am that, but it's not about me today. Anybody else have a birthday today? All right, who has a July birthday? There we go, Harold Taylor, I like all that. Deshay, all right, Harold, what's yours? What number day? 13. Well, me and you, I'm 14. What you got, Deshay? 9th. Who else? I saw another hand. Well, we got this one here, we got this one. Anybody? Mr. Pillow, what's yours? 4th of July, how about that? How about that? Miss Beanie? 28. Miss Joyner, did you raise your hand? Or was you just helping? You just helping me, okay. You just want to be July, I know that. Anybody else? Sam, what's yours?
July
15. See, it's Harold, me, and then you. How about that? We got it all set up. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to sing happy birthday to Rick Gentry. It's his day. All right. On the count of 3. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rick. Happy birthday to you. All right, all right, all right. I don't know what we said when we got to that part about his name, but I went along. I went along with him, but kind of a funny story. Y'all may not care, but Rick's parents and my parents were best friends. So in junior high and high school, they were best friends. My mom tells me she got engaged in the 9th grade. I don't know why. But if they were best friends, I'll let you figure out the questions and the answers. Rick and I were supposed to be born on the same day. I don't know what that means. Rick was early. We were both supposed to be on the 4th. Now back then, was it 26 years ago we were born? Back then, you didn't have a clue. I think my mom says you're in the hospital about a week. I mean, it's something, you know, back then it was different, and so you didn't know what you were having. You didn't know when actually. So I think I was 10 days late and he was 1 day early. So we have always had birthdays in this weird time of year, and I think it's kind of weird that they were both supposed to have babies on the same day. I asked, were y'all in the same location? I didn't really want to know, but so super happy for all of the folks in July, and we'll take the rest of you as well. But I appreciate everybody. What else we got? A couple real quick on the Chief Hudson thing. That we have 2 major contracts that are out in kind of negotiation phase. Our technology or inmate phone system, if you want to call it that, has been the intent to award to a new company is out. There was a protest that's kind of held up a little bit, but we think today they're supposed to rule on the protest, and I believe we'll be in a more formal changing of the guard of a technology company here by the end of the week. They're telling us today would be the day that they would start that. Securus is in place today, at least by what I understand. The process has chosen someone else. Securus has challenged that, and so once they rule, I will surely let you know, but that's moving forward. The other thing that impacts us is the healthcare contract. The healthcare, as you guys know, have been provided by WellPath for years. There was a rebid of all of that, very complicated situation. I think it's really clear WellPath will not be here. There is a 6-month extension to allow the new company to transition, so we're working on all of that and getting some things done, and maybe some big news about healthcare here in the next month or so for us, and I'll surely let you know, but that's kind of in limbo out there as well, but kind of keep you updated. Chief Raines, where are you at? Anything from you? All good? We go to the corners every time. Chief Joyner?
Just one thing, after we cared about her in our thoughts and prayers, his father passed away yesterday.
Wow. I did not know that. I met with Eric yesterday morning. I think it was. Was that yesterday?
We got his office said it
I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad. If you didn't hear, Eric Valder's father passed yesterday. He was trying to get down there in time, I think. I hope he got there. That's very, very sad, but keep him in mind as well. What else we have? Anything? All right, here's what I need to do. We need to kind of flip this room. We need the management unit and team in here at 9 o'clock. It's about 8 minutes till. So if you don't mind, let's go have some food, fellowship, flip the room, take a potty break. We'll be back in here in a few minutes. Thank you, guys.